What's up, YouTube? I'll go ahead and apologize for the lighting right quick. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, but I wanted to make this video before I forgot about it. I'm about to go to sleep. It's been a long day. So I want to talk about clocks. So there's a few different clocks you got to pay attention to when you start driving truck. And like I said, previous videos, that I'm not making this video for guys who've been out there driving truck for 20 years. I'm looking to make these videos for guys who spent 4, 5, 10, 20 years in the military and are looking for that second career. So there's a few clocks you got to pay attention to. First one is 14-hour duty day. So from the time you sign on duty at the beginning of the day, you have 14 hours until you can't work anymore. Then you've got your 11-hour driving clock, and you got how long you can work, or you've got an 8-hour clock where you have to take a 30-minute break. So say you get up, do your pre-trip inspection, takes 15, 20 minutes. Then you drive, and you try to drive as long as you can. So you get about 7 hours, 45 minutes, and you have to stop and take a 30-minute break, and then you can continue your driving or continue your on-duty work. So that's another one you got to pay attention to. And then, of course, you got your 70-hour clock, which means basically during an 8-day period, you can only work 70 hours. Works out to be, if you do it right, you can do about 10 hours a day on duty, whether driving or doing other on-duty activities, and you'll never run out of time. If not, then if you run that clock out, then you need to go ahead and do a 34-hour reset. Now, the reason why I want to talk about clocks, and it goes back into my long day, is sometimes you have to learn how to work these clocks to your advantage, and sometimes use other duty statuses to assist you in making these clocks. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use my day as an example. Last night, my clock ran out at about 7 o'clock p.m. I was able to shut down about 30 miles from the house, so I had my wife come get me because I had a bunch of overage, and I'll get into overage or OSD in another video. But I had a bunch of overages, and I wanted to take that stuff to the house. I wasn't going to throw it in the trash because it was actually good, usable stuff. So I had the wife come pick me up, but I had a suspense. I had to have a trailer up here in Denton by 8:30 in the morning. So that means I got up, took a shower at 3:30 in the morning. 4 o'clock, me and the wife jumped in the truck. She drove me back to this truck. 5 o'clock, I went on duty. 15-minute pre-trip inspection. Drive to Denton. So my clock, my 14-hour duty day would have ended, well, it ended at 7 p.m. today. Well, after I got this trailer dropped off, I got given a load that was supposed to pick up at 8. They already knew it was going to be late because I wasn't going to be here till 8:30. But threw me on that load, so I dropped a trailer here, switched to an empty, ran to go pick up this load, and picked up this load. This load delivered at 7 p.m. Now my clock ran out at 7 p.m. So what I did is I drove straight to the receiver and punched in a sleeper berth status, and I climbed in the back and I took a nap. Now, you can do what's called an 8-2 split. I'm not the subject matter expert. I just know that if I do 8 hours in a sleeper berth, I'll get my time back. And then I have to do 2 hours in a sleeper berth later, and that will restart my duty day. So I jumped in sleeper berth. Well, something screwed up with my ELD, so I ended up having to go on personal conveyance or an off-duty move to bump the dock, because after 8 hours in the sleeper berth, my clock didn't reset. It said I had like -2 hours. Jump in the dock, spent 3 hours in the dock, so technically I had 13 hours off duty. Well, Now I'm unloaded. So I'm not advancing a load. I'm not moving a load forward. I left there. I know my next load is another preloaded trailer that picks up here and delivers at 11 o'clock in the morning. So having a fresh clock, I could have started my clock on the spot at 12 o'clock last night. But that means that my 14 hours would run out at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So instead, I jumped back on the PC line, off-duty move, because I'm not moving a load. And I drove 45 minutes from where I dropped in Fort Worth back here to Denton. That means tomorrow I can start my clock at 9:30 a.m., get this load delivered, and have enough time to possibly get another load because I'm supposed to be going home for the weekend. I'm gonna go turn in that active duty Army ID card and get that blue retiree ID card. And I think I'm gonna go shoot some ducks too. But so you have to know how to work hours of service to your advantage. If not, you find yourself just stuck somewhere in between loads or having to advance a load on the PC line, which is illegal, just to get it delivered on time. And you don't want to do anything that's going to give you an hours of service violation or get you in trouble and cause you problems with your CSA score and future employability. So yeah, technically I did that when I bumped the dock on PC, but I was already at the shipper. I'd already checked in. I was on the shipper's property, and basically I moved the truck 150 feet and backed into a door because my ELD didn't reset. I'd done 8 hours and hold on, I'll tell you exactly. Eight hours and 22 minutes in the sleeper berth. So I met the requirements for an 8-2 split. My ELD just didn't update for some reason. But they just sent a software update because I noticed a new button on my ELD. But so learn how to work your hours of service. Learn how to use them to your advantage. And learn how to use them to your advantage without getting yourself in trouble with the law. Besides that, Friday I hit 4 months in the seat. The job is, I'm not going to say it's the greatest job in the world. It's not hard. All it is time management. In the military, you've had plenty of practice with time management. You got to get up in time for PT. You got to go shit, shower, and shave, and get back to work in a certain amount of time. You have to be certain places at certain times and get a whole bunch of other random nonsense done. So time management's easy. And I ran into a retired sergeant major the other day, and this dude, he said the exact same thing. Said, hey, we got talking about the Army. I got to talking about how I just retired, and he gave me his philosophy on trucking, which is basically the same thing I've figured out since 1 week in the seat, is if you manage your time efficiently, you'll be successful. You see a lot of drivers spend a lot of time screwing around and then complaining that they're always running. They're just having to run too hard. I mean, I don't run hard at all. I get a couple of days like today where I have to get fancy with the clock, but with that getting fancy with the clock, I spent 8 hours in the back either napping or watching South Park. So it's not hard. But anyway, you guys got any questions about transportation or getting into the trucking industry or even just transition from the military, go ahead and hit me up. I'm learning a lot as I go, but I did figure out the VA process, got that 100. A few things that come with that I can help y'all out with. Mainly Chapter 35 benefits. All of my kids get college tuition assistance because of that. And VA loans, I've done all that. So you got any questions about getting out of the military, getting into a truck or troops transportation, feel free to hit me up. And if you want to continue this adventure with me, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see y'all down the road.